and welcome to this Zwift Run live stream. My name is Stephen. I'm a Zwift ambassador, a community run leader and your host today. There's a countdown clock up there showing how long to go before the start of the main event, so you've probably got time to tidy the kitchen, take the trash out and grab yourself a drink before we get going. If you've never seen Zwift before, it's an online game where athletes from all over the world train, compete against and socialise with each other live and in real time. All you need to take part is a foot pod, an internet connection, access to a treadmill and a device on which to run the Zwift app. You can use a computer, an iPad, an iPhone, a high-end Android device. Zwift even works on Apple TV. If you have a smart treadmill, you don't even need a foot pod, as your treadmill will send your speed direct to Zwift. Once you've logged in and made sure your equipment is connected, you can join others live for structured group workouts or social runs. You could do a solo workout or take part in one of the many in-game challenges. You could also pit yourself against people from all over the world in a race. There are various Zwift worlds. Some are based on existing places like London, New York, Innsbruck, Richmond, Virginia and Harrogate in the UK. But the biggest world is the fictional Watopia, where you can run in glass tunnels underwater, through the middle of a volcano, in a jungle, up to the top of a snow-capped mountain and on country trails. Watopia is where the Zwift developers let their imagination fly. Like any computer game, the more you run, the higher up the levels you climb and the more virtual goodies you require. If you're a regular treadmill runner, Zwift is going to transform your training. If you're a hater, Zwift is going to change the way you think about indoor running. Before we go any further, if you're watching on YouTube, please click that subscribe button and the bell icon so you're notified every time we go live on this channel. If you're watching on Facebook, please click the like button on the Film My Run page. Film My Run is also my other YouTube channel where I post real world runs, so if you're interested in marathons, ultra running, 10Ks or triathlons, you'll find product reviews, interviews and races over on that channel. I've been running all my life. I started running long distance races in 2011 when I ran my first half marathon, and that was followed a year later by my first marathon in Paris. I've run the Paris Marathon every year since and have now run well over 100 marathons and ultras. I started using Zwift at the beginning of 2015 when indoor cycling and smart trainers really took off. In the early days, I held the long distance record for cycling of 500 kilometres on Zwift for about 48 hours. And when running started in 2016, I was the first person to run a marathon on Zwift. So if you have any questions about Zwift, if I don't know the answer, I probably know somebody who does. Okay, so now you can go and take the trash out and get that drink. And make sure you keep an eye on that countdown and be back in time for the start proper. Well, go on then, don't just sit there gawping at me. Basically, this message is going to go around in a loop again and again until the start of the run, so you may as well go and do something constructive in the meantime. Hello and welcome to this Zwift Run live stream. My name is Stephen. I'm a Zwift ambassador, a community run leader and your host today. There's a countdown clock up there showing how long to go before the start of the main event, so you've probably got time to tidy the kitchen, take the trash out and grab yourself a drink before we get going. If you've never seen Zwift before, it's an online game where athletes from all over the world train, compete against and socialise with each other live and in real time. All you need to take part is a foot pod, an internet connection, access to a treadmill and a device on which to run the Zwift app. You can use a computer, an iPad, an iPhone, a high-end Android device. Zwift even works on Apple TV. If you have a smart treadmill, you don't even need a foot pod, as your treadmill will send your speed direct to Zwift. Once you've logged in and made sure your equipment is connected, you can join others live for structured group workouts or social runs. You could do a solo workout or take part in one of the many in-game challenges. You could also pit yourself against people from all over the world in a race. There are various Zwift worlds. Some are based on existing places like London, New York, Innsbruck, Richmond, Virginia and Harrogate in the UK. But the biggest world is the fictional Watopia, where you can run in glass tunnels underwater, through the middle of a volcano, in a jungle, up to the top of a snow-capped mountain and on country trails. Watopia is where the Zwift developers let their imagination fly. Like any computer game, the more you run, the higher up the levels you climb and the more virtual goodies you require. If you're a regular treadmill runner, Zwift is going to transform your training. If you're a hater, Zwift is going to change the way you think about indoor running. Before we go any further, if you're watching on YouTube, please click that subscribe button and the bell icon so you're notified every time we go live on this channel. If you're watching on Facebook, please click the like button on the Film My Run page. Film My Run is also my other YouTube channel where I post real world runs, so if you're interested in marathons, ultra running, 10Ks or triathlons, you'll find product reviews, interviews and races over on that channel. I've been running all my life. I started running long distance races in 2011 when I ran my first half marathon, and that was followed a year later by my first marathon in Paris. I've run the Paris Marathon every year since and have now run well over 100 marathons and ultras. I started using Zwift at the beginning of 2015 when indoor cycling and smart trainers really took off. In the early days, I held the long distance record for cycling of 500 kilometres on Zwift for about 48 hours. And when running started in 2016, I was the first person to run a marathon on Zwift. So if you have any questions about Zwift, if I don't know the answer, I probably know somebody who does. Okay, so now you can go and take the trash out and get that drink. And make sure you keep an eye on that countdown and be back in time for the start proper. Well, go on then, don't just sit there gawping at me. Basically, this message is going to go around in a loop again and again until the start of the run, so you may as well go and do something constructive in the meantime. Hello and welcome to this Zwift Run live stream. My name is Stephen. I'm a Zwift ambassador, a community run leader and your host today. There's a countdown clock up there showing how long to go before the start of the main event, so you've probably got time to tidy the kitchen, take the trash out and grab yourself a drink before we get going. If you've never seen Zwift before, it's an online game where athletes from all over the world train, compete against and socialise with each other live and in real time. All you need to take part is a footpod, an internet connection, access to a treadmill and a device on which to run the Zwift app. You can use a computer, an iPad, an iPhone, a high-end Android device. Zwift even works on Apple TV. If you have a smart treadmill, you don't even need a footpod, as your treadmill will send your speed direct to Zwift. Once you've logged in and made sure your equipment is connected, you can join others live for structured group workouts or social runs. You could do a solo workout or take part in one of the many in-game challenges. You could also pit yourself against people from all over the world in a race. There are various Zwift worlds. Some are based on existing places like London, New York, Innsbruck, Richmond, Virginia and Harrogate in the UK. But the biggest world is the fictional Watopia, where you can run in glass tunnels underwater, through the middle of a volcano, in a jungle, up to the top of a snow-capped mountain and on country trails. Watopia is where the Zwift developers let their imagination fly. Like any computer game, the more you run, the higher up the levels you climb and the more virtual goodies you require. If you're a regular treadmill runner, Zwift is going to transform your training. If you're a hater, Zwift is going to change the way you think about indoor running. Before we go any further, if you're watching on YouTube, please click that subscribe button and the bell icon so you're notified every time we go live on this channel. If you're watching on Facebook, please click the like button on the Film My Run page. Film My Run is also my other YouTube channel where I post real world runs, so if you're interested in marathons, ultra running, 10Ks or triathlons, you'll find product reviews, interviews and races over on that channel. I've been running all my life. I started running long distance races in 2011 when I ran my first half marathon, and that was followed a year later by my first marathon in Paris. I've run the Paris Marathon every year since and have now run well over 100 marathons and ultras. I started using Zwift at the beginning of 2015 when indoor cycling and smart trainers really took off. In the early days, I held the long distance record for cycling of 500 kilometres on Zwift for about 48 hours. And when running started in 2016, I was the first person to run a marathon on Zwift. So if you have any questions about Zwift, if I don't know the answer, I probably know somebody who does. Okay, so now you can go and take the trash out and get that drink. And make sure you keep an eye on that countdown and be back in time for the start proper. Well, go on then, don't just sit there gawping at me. Basically, this message is going to go around in a loop again and again until the start of the run, so you may as well go and do something constructive in the meantime. Good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. This is Film My Run on Zwift. My name is Stephen Cousins and we are broadcasting live on Facebook and on YouTube. While we're getting everything ready, it would be absolutely awesome if you could go and subscribe to the Film My Run YouTube channel and also the Zwift Live YouTube channel. You can also find us on Facebook at facebook.com/filmmyrun and also Twitter at filmmyrun, and the website is www.filmmyrun.com. It's very nearly time, so sit back, relax, don't forget to drop me a ride on and watch me do all the hard work. Okay, welcome back. We are here. We're about to run. A bit of a panic setting up heart rate and treadmill. Fingers crossed we've got it working now. We haven't. It's not working. Right, the treadmill is not connecting for some reason. No, let me just unpair it. Repair it. Let's see what happens. Hello to everybody, by the way. Hello, Sebastian. Hello, John Heaton. Just bear with us a second while we try and get the treadmill connected. Fingers crossed it'll work. I hope we've got sound as well, have we? Yes, we have. Right, try now. Yes, okay, you're off. And just as you start as well. 9.1 kilometres per hour. Welcome along to Wednesday Workout. We are here in the shed quarters. Victoria's doing the running. I've signed Victoria up to Group B of Wednesday Workout, so she's got quite a hard workout to do tonight. And she hasn't run for a week, so she's going to be in trouble. And it's really hot, and you haven't got the fan on. Oh, she has got the fan on. At the moment, the fan is not making any difference. Kim Salt says that was good timing. Yes, it was. We just got it done in time. So, anything you want to talk about, drop something in the chat. If you want to ask me a question, if you want to ask Victoria a question, we're here to do that. To answer your questions about Zwift, or to just answer your questions about running in general, or to chat to you about whatever you want to chat about. Hello, Tina. Hello, Anna. Hello, John Heaton, Kim Salt, Amy. Hello to both of you, she says. A few people saying congratulations. Thank you very much, guys. Kim, John, Anna. Thank you. I got back. I got back yesterday, and have been just basically trying to sleep for that whole time. And I still feel like I need to sleep quite a lot more. Although I'm a lot better than I was. It has to be said. The Cornish runner, which is Clive Finnemore, says hello, well done, and welcome back. Thank you very much. We did say that we would try and get Victoria, didn't we, to do some live streams, but it just from where I was in Spain, it was very difficult to get it all organised, and I apologise that we didn't get it done. And Victoria says she didn't sleep much more than I did because she was worrying about me in the race. Tina Beard says the big question is, how are you feeling? Well, that is an interesting question, because I've noticed on some of the Facebook forums about the race that I did, quite a few people have started suffering from gastroenteritis, and I think it might be from dodgy water drunk from the streams in the mountains, but I'm not sure. And I have had a little bit of a funny tummy for a few days. But not too bad at all. Certainly not bad enough to call it gastroenteritis, that's for sure. I wasn't ill. I wasn't really ill with it at all. And it's not too bad. I filtered most of my water in filtered bottles. But I did drink some stream water and melt water from the mountain. So it could have been that. I don't know. Right, Clive Finnemore says that's better. I am me now. Yeah, he's no longer he is still the Cornish runner, but I quite often do that. I quite often post things by accident as film my run instead of me. I never know how to change it on my phone. I can change it on the computer, but I can't do it on the phone. I don't know how to do it. Right, so this is Wednesday workout. We're on Watopia. Victoria is currently doing the warm-up. She's got a 1 kilometre warm-up where they're gradually increasing the speed, and then it's 600 metre sets. So 600 metre sets at 13 kilometres per hour, and then a rest period of 400 metres. But to be honest, the rest period is not really much slower. Normally with a rest period you would drop down to walking pace or really slow jog. But the rest period, the recovery period in the Wednesday workout session is pretty tough. Miguel says, how do you feel after Val d'Aran? So, my legs actually don't feel too bad. And that is primarily because I've been on a 48-hour walking event. It didn't feel like a running race. It was because the terrain was so difficult and the elevation was so tough. Basically, it was mostly walking. And so I haven't actually, in all honesty, I haven't done a lot of running on these legs over the past few days. So my quads are really tight. Oh, they were really tight, and they're very sensitive now. So if I touch my quads, they kind of hurt a bit. But I'm going to try running the Film My Run 500 in the morning, and we'll see how that works out. Because it might be all right. Yeah, if it really hurts, I'll do it on lower elevation or something like that. But we'll just see. I'll try tomorrow. Right, Clive Finnemore's now trying to explain to me how you can change your name on the Facebook app. When you tap the comments box on the left, you can tap a photo icon, then switch. Yeah, I know, but I'm sure I've tried that sometimes and it hasn't worked out as expected. But maybe that's just because I'm not very clever. Adrian says that sounds like the classic quarter. Yeah, slightly more elevation than the classic quarter, but still. Yeah, so actually my legs aren't too bad and my feet are getting better. My feet were very swollen, and actually this time, normally I don't get blisters, but this time I did get quite a few blisters, especially some big ones on my heels. It's the first time, Victoria's just telling me to reminding me to tell you, first time I've run through 2 nights, so over 48 hours, or two sets of day and night. Yeah, I had a bit of a low point on the second night. But other than that, we got it done. Right, so Victoria is getting towards the end of the warm-up, and she'll be into 2 sets of strides. So the strides will be 100 metres at nearly 14 kilometres an hour, and then a 400 metre recovery, and then another stride for 100 metres. And once she's done that, then she'll get into the meat of the workout, which is the 600 metre reps. Clive Finnemore says, I've been working quite a bit over the last week. Nice to get back to film my Run 500. Yes, so that will be on tomorrow morning. I will be attempting to run it in the morning, 11:35 British Summer Time tomorrow. If you are able to come and join me, please do. That'd be great. And it sounds like Clive is going to be able to come and join me. How has your work been affecting the Make Humanity Great Again runs, Clive? Are you not able to attend them as well? And here we go with the first stride. So Victoria is up to 14 kilometres an hour. Well, 13.9 for 100 metres. Just to warm the legs up, stretch out the hamstrings. And back down to 9.9 for 400 metres recovery. And then she'll do that. She'll do that again in a second. Miguel says, you are an out of the ordinary, like all those who run those distances. I don't know about superhuman, but thank you very much, Miguel says, greetings from Spain. Amy says you did really well. Thank you. Well, I did. I got the job done, which is what the point. But I wasn't actually trying to race that race. But having said that, even if I was trying to race it, I'm not sure I could have gone much quicker. But I wasn't trying to race it. I was just trying to finish. I knew it would be hard, and I knew that I would have to try my best to just even finish. So I did that and got it done in the time that I wanted to. The whole point of it was really just to get my UTMB place. In 2022, I will be able to apply to run UTMB in Chamonix, which is another 100-mile race with the same amount of elevation, hopefully, though not quite as difficult as the one I've just done. That's the only thing about the Chamonix race is the cut-offs are quite tight early on. Val d'Aran, they were tight. Okay, Anna says, sadly, no live stream MHG run today. Oh, so he wasn't able to get there. Okay, I see. Right, so Clive says 2 minutes late, ran it in my work clothes. Had to lose the trousers halfway through. That would have been hilarious on a live stream. Couldn't you get... Oh, that would have just been brilliant on a live stream. Arriving 2 minutes late, jumping on in his work clothes, and then trying to take his trousers off halfway through the run. Brilliant. Yeah, did you run in your work shoes as well? That would have been hilarious. Alexa says, my dad says congratulations on your run, Stephen. Thank you, Leo. So we're into second stride now. You can see Victoria in the corner there. Look, she's just there. There's Victoria running 100 metres at 13.9 kilometres per hour. She'll get through the arch, and there she is. And now she's going to rest. And Victoria wants me to turn camera angles off because it confuses her. So we'll do that now. got to keep your eyes on what's going on. Right, bear with me while I just turn the camera angles off. Right, Clive says he did run in his work shoes, and they're safety shoes. Does that mean they're massive things with steel toe caps? You ran your 5K in steel toe cap boots? Is that the truth? Right, Victoria says, were they rigger boots? Now, I've just said to Victoria, I don't know what rigger boots are. So, does anybody know what rigger boots are? And did Clive run in rigger boots? What are rigger boots? Oh, hang on, right, no. Clive says he ran in non-slip black trainers, no steel toe caps. So that's relatively benign then. We'll let you off then. Alexa says, my dad says, what shoes did you wear in your race? I wore my trusty Hoka Evo Speed Goats. So the light version of the Speed Goats. Very good grip, very comfortable. And I've worn them. I'm on my second pair of them now. I've worn them for thousands of miles, and I really like them. And if you want some, they're on sale, apparently, says Victoria, on the Hoka website. So go and get some of your own. They're Evo Speed Goats. So not the Speed Goat 4. That's a heavier shoe. Speed Goat 4 is a heavier shoe. You want the Evo Speed Goat. Victoria's got some too. Okay, so here we are now approaching the first proper set. So 5 times 600 metres. And Victoria needs to run at 13 kilometres an hour for 600 metres starting now. Leo, by the way, is running this workout. He is in group... Is he in group... No, I think he is in Group B as well. He's a little bit ahead, though. Only about 12 people running this workout today. Right, Alexa says, my dad says, if you could change anything that you did on the run, what would it be and why? That's a very good question. If I could change anything, I would probably... I was going to say I'd probably try to push it a bit harder up the hills. But that said, that wasn't the plan. If I was racing it, I would have pushed it a bit harder climbing the hills. I would have made myself a bit more tired going up. But the plan was not to race it. The plan was simply to finish. So I'm perfectly happy that it took me 46 hours to do. You know, I could have tried to go faster and come in under 40 hours, but I think it was a sensible option because the goal was to get my place for UTMB. So I don't think I would have changed really anything that I did. If I think of anything over the next half an hour, I'll let you know. But I'm pretty happy with how it went, to be fair. Clive loves his Evos. I hope you don't wear them on the treadmill, though, Clive. Oh, by the way, Victoria is wearing her brand new top today. And headband. Notice Victoria's headband, everybody. That is a Zwift official headband. And yeah, she's got her own. Victoria's not wearing one of my tops. She now has her own Zwift running top. Yeah, if you see the headband close up in a minute, you'll see it has got Zs on it for Zwift. How's this feeling, Victoria? See, you shouldn't drink water when you're running. It's a bad idea. Victoria says she's got a stitch from running from the water she's just drunk. So she's still on this first 600 metres. Just coming to the end of it now, and then she can slow down a little bit, but not very much. down to 12.2. So it's only a little bit slower. Alexis, my dad says, how much nutrients did you take over the 2 days? Did you manage to get enough nutrients, and how many calories could you fit in over the 2 days? And did the heat bother you? Okay, so a few questions there. In terms of food, I ate what was at the aid station, so I didn't really carry very much food with me. Maybe some bars, like calorie bars, but I didn't really touch them very much. So I ate what was at the aid stations. There were some stops where you could have more of a meal. So there were 2 stops during the 46 hours I was out there. There were 2 stops where I had big bowls of pasta. So a massive bowl of pasta with cheese and tomato sauce on. And part of your mandatory kit was to take a bowl and a spoon or a fork with you in your backpack, so that you could get your bowl of pasta, or they also had rice as well. So I had 2 huge bowls of pasta. And then the rest of the time I was eating the other stuff that was at the aid stations, but mostly savoury stuff. So I survived a lot on peanuts and cheese and ham sandwiches. So lots of cheese and ham sandwiches and lots of peanuts. I didn't really go for like the fruit, the orange or the melon. I had a little bit, but not very much. And certainly not the really sweet stuff. The only really sweet stuff I had were a couple of bits of chocolate, dark chocolate, which I kept in a pocket of my backpack, and I would just suck on the chocolate every so often. And in terms of the heat, yes, it was very, very, very hot. Certainly the second day was a heat wave. But luckily, the heat wave, we were right on the high tops of the mountains. And when we were on the tops of the mountains, there was snow on the tops of the mountains. Not very much, but enough for me to grab handfuls of it and put it into a homemade pouch that I put around my neck, like a bandana that I put around my neck. And I shoved a load of snow in the back, and it kept my back and my neck cool in that heat. So that's how I managed the heat. Did I have any hallucinations? Yes, and very weird. And you just have to. He says, Alexis says, how did you overcome the illusions and the hallucinations? By recognizing that they were hallucinations. So I would see like tree roots or trees, and I would think they were people. But I've had that before, and so I kind of knew to say to myself, it's not real. What was the other? Oh yeah, the other thing that I couldn't cope with, that is new for me. The other thing that I had, which I've never had before, is auditory hallucinations. So my brain would hear things and make it into music. So the running of a stream, for example, the sound of the water running down a stream, my brain would turn that into music, and it would sound like I had a radio playing in my head, like for hours and hours. And the other one was cattle with bells around their neck. So in Spain and in France, a lot of the cattle have these big bells around their necks, and all of them have them, so it makes a cacophony of sound. And the sound of that from miles away would make my brain turn it into music. And it was really weird. And I had it for hours after I finished the race as well. I didn't hear the Film My Run music. No, Kim, I didn't. It just made it into like other stuff, weird music. I thought was a radio. Initially, I thought it was a radio miles off in the distance that I could hear. But then I realised it was my brain making it up. And that I was just so tired that it was auditory hallucinations. And it wasn't until I'd had a night's sleep in the hotel that the noise stopped in my head. So that was one very interesting thing. Yeah, Alexis says, sounds epic. Yeah, well, wait till you see the video. There's some stunning views. I mean, on top of the mountains, 2,500 metres high. Amazing. Okay, Victoria has just come to the end of the second block of 600. Slowed it down a bit more just to get a bit more recovery, is that right? It's too hot, and Victoria's got a stitch. So she's just slowed this one down. So she's at 9.9 at the moment instead of 12.2. Thank you for reminding me, Tina. Tina says, how's Victoria doing? Stop talking about yourself all the time. I'm quite happy to answer questions. But of course, we are focusing on Victoria running Wednesday workout. She's got a stitch at the moment. So she's just trying to run through that. And so she's just slowed the recovery down to 9.9. No, it's better to slow the recovery down than slow the main section down. Jim says she's tapering, right? Yeah, we have a marathon in 2 weeks' time, so technically, yeah, she's tapering, but she hasn't actually run for a week. And she hasn't done any marathon training, so we're basically going to do a marathon in 2 weeks' time with no training. Why not? What the heck? What could possibly go wrong? Marty Gorman says, a friend of mine on the race between the stones, 8 hours and 40 minutes for 100k. Paddy Hamilton. Is that happening now then? Right? Oh, is it the week? He says 8 hours 40 minutes. Oh, last weekend. Okay. Yeah. Right. Neil Messenger says hi, Stephen. Hello. So Victoria can see the archway, and she's ready for number 3, which will bring her to just about halfway through, nearly halfway through. Probably, yeah. Victoria's worried her stitch is going to get worse again. It should keep running. It should just ease off, or it'll just stay at one level. What marathon are we doing again, Victoria? Llama Tree. We're doing the Llama Tree, aren't we? Yes. So Tina says you'll see lots of Yeovil shirts in your marathon. It's very local for us. Well, you must. Why don't you come down and say hello, Tina? Yeah, we're doing the Llama Tree Marathon in Dorset, or is it Wiltshire? It is Dorset. So we'll be down there not next week, but the weekend after. And then we're off to Cornwall for the Rat, which is the Roseland August Trail, which I will be live streaming. Clive, Victoria wants to know: are you doing the Rat or any of those races for the Roseland August Trail? Marty says she's going really well. Hopefully Zero Runner will have me back on the treadmill soon. Great to see you both going so well. Thank you very much, Marty. Tina says she may try and come and see us at the Llama. Thank you, Tina. That'd be nice to say hello. And Neil Messenger says hi, Victoria, as well, because he said hello, Stephen, but not hello, Victoria. Alexis, my dad asked Ellis Bland on Instagram, would he come for a run with him on the fells in Cumbria? And he said yes, and my dad is hopefully at the end of the month joining him for a run. Wow, awesome. So Alexis, so Leo is going to run with Ellis Bland. Nice. Kevin DeLuca says, hello, Cousins family. Keep going, Victoria. I have one question about your MyRun treadmill. The first weeks you use it, did you have some noise from the belt? I have mine 2 weeks now, and I have noise from the belt. I took videos to send to Techno Gym, but it's weird, I think. You will have noise from the belt, yes. It's basically just because where the belt... The belt is one piece of material, and they fold it over and stitch it together. Now, where that stitch is, it's basically double the width for a little bit, and that causes a bump when it goes over the rollers. And what needs to happen is you need to run on it for a good few weeks for that bump to kind of even out, and it will make less noise. It was the same with the Noble Pro treadmill that I'm standing on now. That had quite a bad noise for quite a long time. I think it took about 2 months for it to settle down. So yes, I'm not surprised that you've got a noise, and it probably will continue for a little while. Right, Victoria is into recovery on the 3rd rep, and she's not slowed this one down. How's the stitch? So, waving of the hand. The stitch is so-so. Neil Messenger says, I'm doing a Clacton-on-Sea half marathon on August the 22nd. What time are you going for, Neil? Because you did really well in your last half marathon, didn't you? Was it 140 something? Just under 140 maybe? I'm sure that was your last half marathon. Let me know what you're going for. If you're going to try and get nearer to 135 or something, that'd be amazing. Right, Victoria is at 12.2 kilometres an hour. She's 3 sets in. And she's going to go and start the 4th one in a second at 13 kilometres an hour for 600 metres. She has 5 kilometres left to do. She's nearly halfway through the run now. We will be back on pretty regularly, hopefully from now for the next few weeks until we go to Chamonix. So we have 5 weeks, I think, until we go to Chamonix, and we'll be off air again for a week. From the beginning, from August the 22nd to the end of August. So the last week of August, there will be no live streams, or no Zwift live streams anyway. Right, Victoria has started set number 4 now, but we will be on for the next 5 weeks from now, almost every day. Doing something on Zwift. If it's me or Victoria, I think I'm going to take probably a week off. So Victoria is going to be running this week, and I will probably start running. Oh no, I'm going to film my Run 500 in the morning, aren't I? Apart from that, I'm going to do film my Run 500. But apart from that, Victoria is going to be doing most of the running this week. Yes, so Neil's going to go for 135. He wants to get that 130. 90-minute half run is a 90-minute half run is like a really good goal to achieve as a runner. If you are a club runner, if you are relatively fit, a 130 half marathon is something that a lot of people aim for. So yeah, getting down to that would be awesome, but it can take some work. You do need to put the training in. But I mean, you know, a 2-hour half marathon is an awesome goal for some people as well. So it's all relative, isn't it? And for some people, 1 hour 15 minutes is their goal. But I think in general, you would say, in general, for like the average, maybe the average male runner of about between 20 and 40, 20 and 50, would look to target 130 as their kind of ultimate goal for a half marathon. Kim Salt reminding us that ZRS is this weekend. The route is on Makuri Islands, and I think that's the first time that ZRS has been on Makuri Islands. So they're short runs, just 2.4 miles. Thank you, Kim, for reminding us. So this weekend, the Zwift Race Series is on Makuri Islands. Go and sign up for one of those runs. And that reminds me that the Zwift Running League is back soon as well. So keep your eyes open for the start of the Zwift Running League. There is Victoria looking relatively comfortable, even though she looks hot. She'd probably prefer to be wearing a vest now rather than a t-shirt. And there she is at the end of number 4. Just chilling out now, slightly slower. Heart rate is quite high, 171. That's probably partly to do with how hot it is, making Victoria breathe a bit more heavily. What have you got underneath your t-shirt? Yeah, okay, so right, Victoria needs to take her t-shirt off, so we'll let her do that. Just don't fall off the treadmill when you do it. Right, there we go. Okay, so Victoria is going to be a bit cooler running like that. Hello, by the way, if you're watching on YouTube and Twitch, we haven't had anyone chatting from YouTube or Twitch today, so if you are watching there and you want to ask a question, please feel free to do so. But thank you for watching on Facebook as well, and most people chatting are on Facebook. And we are going through the Italian village at the moment, away from the volcano, back towards the main Watopia Island, and coming up to the next arch, which will be the last of this set. And then when we finish this set, we've got two slightly quicker ones. Victoria is working really well, considering she hasn't run for a week. This is a bit of a hefty workout to suddenly do. Stephen Smith, good evening. He says good evening, Stephen and Victoria. It's been a while. Yes, it has, Stephen. I haven't seen you for a while. Hello, nice to see you. Nice to have you with us, Stephen. Right, off she goes. The last one of these 5. 600 metres at 13 kilometres an hour. Heart rate is 170, so expect it to get higher by the end of this 600 metres. Lee Ryby, hello. He says, well done, Stephen. And hi, Victoria, too. And Alexis says, he says, Leo says, go Vic, go. Tina says, it's so nice to be watching Film My Run again. Thank you. That's very kind of you to say so. There's not a lot of comedy banter going on today, simply because Victoria is working so hard. She's not able to fire back. So maybe next time we'll do an easy run where we can have a bit more banter. This is a hard run for Victoria. But she's doing well, and she's well over halfway. Only 3.7 kilometres left to run now. So 6 kilometres, over 6 kilometres done. If you haven't given Victoria a ride on, load up that Zwift Companion app and bang Victoria a ride on, will you please? That'd be grateful. Would be grateful for that. It is really warm in Shed Quarters tonight. Very humid outside. It's been a nice sunny day here on the south coast. Victoria's average heart rate for the last kilometre was 170, so it's bound to be higher now. She's not far away. Thank you for that. Thank you, Kim. Thank you, Kim, for the ride on.
Ride on!
Neil Messenger's now on Twitch. It says, well done, Stephen, for the 100 miler at the weekend. Thank you very much, Neil. It was actually 103, but we'll just ignore the extra 3 miles that I had to do. Was it 103 or 100? Maybe it wasn't 103. Not quite 103. Right, Victoria has finished the set of 5. So a bit of recovery, and then she's got 2 more sets to do, slightly faster. It's just going to knock it down a little bit just to get a bit more recovery. Just to let the heart rate come down a bit more. It's still hovering at about 170, which is zone 4 for Victoria. So will Victoria get her star at the end of this? Remember, she had a slow one earlier on, and she's just doing a slow one now. So it'll be interesting to see if she gets a star. If she does, that's good, because it means that it takes into account that you can have the occasional slip up and still do a good workout. Stephen Smith says, speaking of ultra running, are you planning on doing another Zwift 100 miler or a 50k or something? I'm not planning on one yet, but that's not to say we won't do one at some point. Certainly not a 100 miler just this year. We might do another 100 miler next year, but it doesn't seem that long ago that we did the last one, so I won't be doing another Zwift 100 miler for at least another 8 to 10 months, I wouldn't have thought. But we might do a 50k, or we're certainly doing a marathon soon, I think, on Zwift. But we'll see. Yeah, I mean, we never say never, do we? Kim Salt says, remind me not to do Wednesday workout. This thing is tough. Well, Victoria's doing Group B, so I mean, it might be worth looking at. Might be worth looking at Group C and D and seeing how they suit. But I mean, it is a tough one when you don't have much recovery in between the reps. Right, up we go now to 13.5 kilometres an hour. Just 2 of these to do. 600 metres at 13.5. By the way, if you notice me slurring, as a result of my 2 days on the trails, I have a bit of a mouth ulcer as well, and it's a bit sore, and I'm afraid of biting it with my teeth. So, well, you don't bite things. You only bite things with your teeth, don't you? Anyway, yeah. So, just bear with me if I sound like I'm talking a bit funny, because I do have this ulcer on my tongue, which is hurting a bit. Neil says it is on Strava. What's on Strava, Neil? I've clearly missed something. Hang on a second. You go down a bit, yeah. Oh, you're going down a bit. Is it too much? Okay. Right, Victoria's just dropping this down a bit. Just getting really hot. Oh, is it on Strava? Yes, it is on Strava. Just go to my Strava page, Neil, and you'll see it. It's the last run I did. The last run I did is 100 miles in the Pyrenees. You'll see it on Strava right on my page. Stephen, I have seen the nerve insoles. Yeah, I'm not sure I like the pod sticking over the end of the shoe there, though. They look a bit weird. Right, Victoria is suffering now, so she's dropping it down a bit. She's got her stitch back, so she just needs to chill out a bit. But we'll get these last 2 done just a bit slower. She has not run for a week, so it's not surprising that this has knocked her out a bit. Heart rate is 172. Stephen Smith, those nerve insoles, they do look interesting, and I would get some if they sent me them just to try out. I'd use them, but I don't think I'm going to spend 250 quid on them just to try them. I don't think they work with Zwift either. I'd be afraid of knocking that big chunky pod off the side. Tina Beard says, good going, Vic, this is so hard. Right, so that's the end of the 600 done. So 400 metres recovery and then 1 more to do. See if you can do 200 metres at the full speed and then see how you go. Right, so at the end of this recovery... yeah, John Heaton says, Stephen talks shoes while Victoria suffers. I'm sorry. Well, what else do you want me to do? You know, I can't do the run for her. She's doing really well. She's just had to slow it down because she's got a stitch. But at the end of this recovery, She is going to try to do 200 metres at 13.5 and then see how much she can hang on for. Maybe just drop it down a little bit as she goes. But we'll see. This is the last one coming up now anyway. So we're nearly done, and do join me for the Film My Run 500 in the morning. 11:35 British Summer Time. Film My Run 500 is on. But like I say, I won't be running very much this week, just the Film My Run 500. Victoria will be doing any other runs. Just 2 kilometres left now. Gaming First Responder on YouTube says, how do I get to run with you guys when you're on Zwift? Well, it depends. What do you need to know? Because have you got Zwift on your phone? Have you downloaded the game? Do you have a treadmill? Or can you get access to a treadmill? If you have those things, then you can simply log in to Zwift, and when we're running, you can click on our names. So you can click on Run with Stephen or Run with Victoria. As long as you have friended us on Zwift. Right, here we go. This is the last one. So Victoria's up to 13.5 now. Let's see how long she can keep this going for. 600 metres is the maximum that it will be. Let's see how long she can manage it with the stitch that she's got, fighting through to put the pain to the back of her head and try and get as much of this done at the right pace as possible. So yeah, Gaming First Responder. You might need a foot pod attached to your shoe, and you can come and join us anytime you like. Whenever you see that we are live streaming, whenever you see that we're running on Zwift, you load the Zwift game up and you find us, our names, and click on Run with Stephen or Run with Victoria, and you should be able to join us. It's so easy to get set up with Zwift running. Here's what you need. Firstly, access to a treadmill. It could be at home or at the gym, but any treadmill will work with Zwift. To get you moving in game, we need a speed source. Traditionally, we use a foot pod like the Zwift Pod or the Stride, but you can also use the Run Smart treadmill sensor, your Apple Watch, one of the newer Garmin watches, the TSS app, and if you have a smart treadmill, your treadmill will connect directly to Zwift without the need for another device. Now simply download the Zwift app onto a Mac, a PC, an iPhone, an iPad, an Android device. Zwift even works on Apple TV. Finally, pair your speed source in the app. Pairing heart rate from your watch or a chest strap is also a great addition to Zwift. And that's it. You're all set up for solo runs, solo or group workouts, challenges and real-time racing on Zwift with people from all over the world. Okay, Vic is still pushing out 13.5 kilometres an hour. Gaming First Responder says, I've got on my Garmin foot pod. Right, the only thing to tell you about the Garmin foot pod is that it's an Ant Plus foot pod, not a Bluetooth foot pod. So the only way that it'll work is if you're running Zwift on a computer and you have an Ant Plus USB stick. You alright? Right, Vic was about to throw up. Right, she's slowing it down. You okay? Right. You've all heard that if you don't throw up at the end of a workout, you haven't worked hard enough. But she's just going to throw up. She's done amazingly well. Bless her heart. Right, I'm just covering for Victoria because she's absolutely knackered. And she's gone out to throw up. She's alright though. She's okay. She'll survive. But she's just worked a bit extra hard. A bit harder than she was expecting to. So I'm covering for her. You alright? You want to walk it out?
That is hideous. My husband's horrible. Yeah. That, I think, is retribution. For me, telling him, get on and finish the race at the weekend. Because when he went into the second night, it was very, very close to him. He was in a dark place. Probably the darkest he's ever been. Bit of tough love, eh? We got him running again. Now he's getting his own back. Oh.
I think that might be a first. I don't think I've ever thrown up live on stream. Right, Victoria hasn't. Right, so there's a first for everything. And you saw it here first. Victoria throws up live on Zwift. She's done good. It was right at the end anyway. Just a kilometre to go to chill out now and recover. Amazing. Right, yeah, Victoria now qualifies as a true Zwift runner, a true hard worker. Because she actually threw up at the end of a workout, and we all know if you haven't thrown up at the end of a workout, you haven't worked hard enough. So there you go. Not only have you got vomit all down you, but you've got vomit all down the treadmill as well. Leo says, massive kudos, that was horrible. I've been sick also, not pleasant. Yeah, it was after the watershed. Leo says, my house is like an oven. You need to be at 10.4. Leo says, my house is like an oven. Yeah, like in here, Leo. Doors and windows open. Literally puked myself. So Leo's been sick as well. Tracy Watkins says, poor Victoria, what a run. Gaming First Responder on YouTube says, well, keep going, Victoria. Anna says, this is a hard workout, poor Victoria. Tina, oh my, poor Victoria. John Heaton, fantastic effort, Victoria. Ian James says, great running, Victoria. Stephen Smith, well done, Victoria. It is a way to get kudos. Yes, if you haven't given Victoria a ride on, then go and go and load up the Zwift Companion app and give Victoria a ride on. John Heaton says, what a woman, she carries on. Kim Sol, you have spilled coffee on the treadmill. Yes, I have spilled what's worse though, coffee or puke? Coffee or vomit? What would you rather me spill on the treadmill? I don't know. Well, the thing is, you doing that proves that you have done a hard workout though, doesn't it? It proves that you've pushed yourself. Or it just proves that you ate too soon before you did the workout. One of those. It is the heat, partly the heat, yeah. Yeah, I mean, we know, yeah, Victoria has done this workout before at this speed, so it's not like she's never done this before. But she's probably just because she's not run for a week, and also because it's very hot in here. That's what caused the issue. Okay, right, Tanya. Tanya, I just tuned in to see if I should join next time. Now I think I know the answer.
Yeah, it's good. It'll push you. You too can vomit.
Well, listen, Tanya, you're actually on Zwift more than I am these days. So, you should definitely come and do one of the workouts, or definitely join in one of the group workouts. Maybe do one. Why don't you do one with Victoria, one night in the week? But we won't not one as hard as this. Just like a nice easy one, or like just a group run. This doesn't have to be a workout. Just do a group run with us. I'll be on one treadmill, Victoria on the other treadmill, and you on your treadmill. Be great. Or Kim says they can rename it the Workout Vomit Wednesday. Just call it Vomit Wednesday. Call it Vomit Wednesday. VW. Wait, everyone can say, are you going to do VW this weekend? Or this week? Okay, Tanya says she's up for running with us. Just tell me when, she says. Victoria wants to call it Victoria's Vomit Run. VVR, Victoria's Vomit Run. But that means you'd have to be sick every week. You up for that? You up for being sick every week? You do, but you don't have to be sick every week. Right, 400 metres to go. Victoria's nearly done. Just chilling out now in this very hot shed quarters. Leo says, keep it up, Victoria. Ignore your other half. And the banter has started. The Chunder Run. Paul Cottrell. I like that. The Chunder Run. Nice one. Yeah. So we've got Vomit Wednesday. We've got Victoria's Vomit Run. We've got the Chunder Run. We could do one on Saturday and call it Sick Saturday. Sick Saturday or Sick Sunday. Oh dear. Very good. Okay. Throw up Thursday. Victoria's just come up with Throw Up Thursday as well. We could have an entire week of vomit-related runs, couldn't we? Vomit Wednesday, Throw Up Thursday, Sick Saturday, the Chunder Run. Brilliant. I love all these. This is awesome. Okay. I think we definitely have something here. I will approach Zwift HQ with an idea. I'll approach Zwift HQ with the plan. And what do you think they might say? You would have thrown up all of your nice new top. Right, just Leo's telling me to pack it in. 200 metres to go. Victoria's coming to the end of Wednesday workout, or as it's now been named, Vomit Wednesday. And well done to Victoria. Thank you very much for watching, everybody. Toss your cookies Tuesday. Puke noodle Sunday. Yeah, instead of pot noodle Sunday, puke noodle Sunday. Oh yeah, of course I did have a pot noodle as my a Bombay Bad Boy pot noodle as my post-run recovery when I finished my race on Monday, whenever it was. Was it Sunday? When did I finish my race? Sunday I finished. Yeah, so Sunday night whilst watching the final, the football. Victoria phoned me for chat and I missed England's only goal. Victoria phoned me for a chat. Brilliant. How about that, eh? I was watching on my phone the football and she phoned me for a chat. And as she phoned me for a chat, England scored the first goal, their only goal. Anyway, and there are, Kim says we need a name for Monday because we've got Toss Your Cookies Tuesday or Puke Tuesday, as Clive wants to call it. Amy says well done, great running. Anna says well done, Victoria. So does Clive. We are done here. Thank you very much for watching, everybody. Answers on a postcard for Monday's run. We'll get an entire week of vomit-related runs, and we'll put it to Zwift HQ. There's a new series of runs, all based around throwing up, which would be great to do. And now I have to go and get a cloth and mop up. Oh no, Victoria's offered to clean up her own sick. How about that? No, I won't rub your nose in it. We're off. Thank you very much for watching, everybody. It's been lots of fun to be back on Zwift, and we'll be back in the morning for what we do in the morning. The Film My Run 500. Let me press a few buttons here. We'll see you in the morning for the Film My Run 500. Thank you very much, everybody. Are you going to wave bye-bye, Victoria? See See you later, everybody. You can press the button now as well.